If you run a WordPress site long enough, you're going to hit some problems. Pages will slow down, errors will appear, or updates might fail. The last thing in the world you need is an unexpected troubleshooting session with tech support. I know the feeling. It makes me want to pull my hair out. The good news? Most WordPress issues stem from the same root causes. Once you know what they are, they're much easier to fix. Today, I'll walk through the most common WordPress issues and practical steps you can take to fix them. Let's get into it. Issue number 1, your site is slow. This is one of the most common complaints, and it's no surprise. If pages load slowly, visitors leave, search rankings drop, and everything you do just gets harder. So, how slow is too slow? According to Google, anything over 3 seconds is totally unacceptable. So, start by testing your site with tools like GTmetrix or Page Speed Insights. Then, look for these 3 red flags: a high server response time, large page size, or too many requests. These almost always point to the same problems: no caching, unoptimized files, and too much work happening behind the scenes on every page load. So, how do you fix it? Start with caching. A caching plugin stores static, ready-to-serve versions of your pages so WordPress doesn't rebuild them for every visitor. Step 2, fix file bloat. Large and unused CSS and JavaScript files slow everything down. You'll want to optimize these, even if you need to go through your code line by line. Start by trimming CSS. You can manually remove extra spaces in the code or unnecessary comments to reduce file size. Then, take it a step further by removing unused CSS altogether. Styles that are loaded but never actually used on a given page. Step 3 is to optimize JavaScript by deferring JavaScript and delaying JavaScript execution so the page can show content to visitors sooner. Step 4, optimize your images. If your page size is huge, images are often the reason. Go through your pages and resize your images. Compress and convert them to modern formats like WebP or AVIF. If your site is still slow, it's time to check for heavy plugins, database bloat, or a hosting plan that can't keep up. Because at that point, it's usually server-side. Okay, does all of this sound complicated, time-consuming, boring, and like a terrible way to spend your week? I thought so. That's where WP Rocket comes into play. It's an all-around WordPress performance optimization tool that takes care of 80% of performance best practices automatically. Caching? Of course, but it's much more than your standard caching plugin. For instance, it can remove unused CSS, then defer JavaScript, and delay JavaScript execution. You can even pair it with Imagify, the sister tool that takes care of all of those heavy images for you, automatically. The result? Faster load times, better performance scores, happier visitors, and higher search engine rankings. Issue number 2, the white screen of death. You open your site and it's blank. No error message, just white. This usually means WordPress hit a fatal error, but can't display it. Remain calm and troubleshoot on. Start with the simplest fix. Clear your browser cache. Next, clear your WordPress cache. If you have WP Rocket installed, you can do this in one click. A lot of times, the issue will be fixed right there. But if you're still seeing a blank screen, it's time to investigate recent changes. Did you install a plugin, update a theme, switch PHP versions, or add custom code? Make a quick list. You may need to reverse them one by one. Most likely, you're dealing with a plugin conflict or a memory limit issue. If you can access WP Admin, deactivate the newest plugin first and see if the site comes back. If you can't access WP Admin, use FTP or your host file manager and rename the plugins folder to something like Plugins Old. That disables plugins instantly. If the site loads again, you know it's a plugin or memory issue. If disabling plugins doesn't help, Try switching to a default theme and check your error logs. This is where a single bad file can reveal itself. Reach out to your host and ask about memory limits. If you're capped, they can raise the limit. Or you can reduce usage by removing the heaviest plugins. If memory isn't the problem, start reactivating plugins one by one until the issue returns. When it does, contact that plugin support team. In most cases, white screen of death problems come down to cache, memory, or a plugin conflict. If you've worked through this and it's still blank, it's time to contact a pro. Issue number 3, high CPU usage or server overload. This one shows up as slow WP admin screens, timeouts, or emails from your host about resource usage. The best case scenario, your site is growing exponentially and you just need a more robust hosting package. But in most cases, it means your site isn't optimized and you're using way too many resources. It's probably the result of a lack of caching, heavy plugins, or unoptimized media files. Sound familiar? These are the same root issues that caused you trouble earlier. Start with the quickest win, caching and optimization. If the problem persists, escalate like this. Look for a sudden traffic spike or bots, identify the heaviest plugins, and check your host resource graphs to see what's draining resources. You can try to resolve this yourself, but your best bet is a performance plugin like WP Rocket. It's going to reduce the strain on your server while making your site load faster for users. Issue number 4, WordPress gets stuck in maintenance mode. If you run an update and see briefly unavailable for scheduled maintenance, it means the update failed mid-process. This fix is straightforward. Use FTP or your host file manager, go to your site's root folder, and delete the maintenance file. Then reload the site. If you don't see it right away, remember it can be hidden, so enable Show Hidden Files in your file manager. The easiest way to prevent this in the future, run updates one at a time. Bulk updates take longer and are more prone to interruptions. And as always, create and safely store a reliable backup before you make any updates. It's a bit of trial and error, but it works. Final takeaway, most WordPress issues have similar root causes: poor optimization, overextended resources, or plugin conflicts. Managing a site is hard enough without spending your weekends fixing everything manually. To get the best results while protecting your time, you need to reduce complexity. WP Rocket is perfect for this. It automatically takes care of a long list of performance tasks, so you can check off this entire list with a single installation. That means faster pages, a better page speed insight score, improved core web vitals, and fewer headaches. No more pulling your hair out. If your site feels slow or unstable, you need WP Rocket today. Check the link in the description to learn more.